Okay, so our next item on the agenda is a discussion, a large discussion with all of the attendees here. Um, and it's a little bit unstructured. I think we have a start, we had at the beginning of a discussion about how our jobs as statistical collaborators and statistical consultants and advisors will change with AI. And one of the key ideas is that the relationship component is central to what we do as statistical collaborators. And relationship is one of the five principal components of collaboration in the ASCR framework. The last R stands for relationship. And so, we always have to be thinking about that personal human relationship with the domain experts that we collaborate with. So we have about 20 minutes before our parallel sessions begin. And in that 20 minutes, I would like to moderate a discussion. Um, and I think I can kick it off here. I will do something very quick. Last week, I had a conversation with generative AI about the LISA 2020 Global Network. And let me find it and share. Okay, so it's a little bit too much text, I think, for a Zoom. But what I did is I asked Google Gemini, what do you know about the LISA 2020 Global Network? And it said, after 3 seconds of thinking, the LISA 2020 Global Network is a highly successful program focused on building statistics and data science capacity in developing countries to help solve real-world problems and drive development. And it operates by establishing and supporting stat labs at universities and institutions in developing nations. And then it talked about our core mission and goals, and then the scale and success. And then it had like a little summary statement. The work of the network has resulted in a significant volume of projects, student training, and workshops, helping local experts use their knowledge to address global challenges in sectors like public health, agriculture, and education. So it gave a really nicely presented answer to my question. And then one thing that was notable is it only told us what we told it, right? So we've written articles, there have been things that have been written about the LISA 2020 Global Network, and the generative AI was successful in giving it back to us in a nice, well-written format. So then I asked, what do you not know about the LISA 2020 Global Network? And it said, I do not know several specific details about the current operations and internal state, specifically the current funding status and donors. So previously, the network had funding from USAID through 2022, and I don't have any up-to-the-minute information on its current primary funding sources, which is interesting. So we have no other funding. The exact number and location of labs, well, we now have 37 full members. Specific leadership and governance changes. It doesn't know anything past 2022, nor does it know the metrics past 22, nor does it know this future strategic plan. So I don't know the official name or scope of the program succeeding LISA 2020 or the network's detailed strategic goals, if any, for capacity building beyond the initial 2020 timeframe. So this is what I would like us to start answering. We will be discussing this at our monthly Zoom meetings, which are the first Thursday of every month at 1400 UTC. And I welcome attendees from of this symposium to join us next. Was it 2 weeks? 2 weeks from now, on the 6th of November, the first Thursday of the month, to help us have these discussions. But so I would like to focus this panel discussion right now on future strategic plan. What would we like to see in the future? And I will stop sharing my screen. I'll put a couple items into the chat. But while I do it, I would be happy to have somebody else take the floor and give their opinions on future strategic plan for the LISA 2020 Global Dialogue.
So, in my opinion, we are witnessing a very hard work by the LISA global leaders. We have witnessed that for last couple of years, we are constantly in touch with you with LISA global platform through Zoom meetings, regular Zoom meetings on first Thursday, and hope that by this global symposium, we will be in a position to have more and more labs to join us. So we will be having definitely a very sustainable statisticians global network, along with the academic enhancements of all these labs, which are working till now, and which are supposed to be join us in future. Thank you.
Great, thank you.
So I know this is not the first time I've said this. As the current vice president for metrics, which I am stepping down from at the end of the year, part of the reason I'm stepping down is to maybe help push things in a different direction. But our labs have gotten very good at the education mission. Have gotten very good at providing workshops. This is probably, as the person who's been collecting the metrics, probably the area that is most consistent across labs. Especially in the context of today's discussion, though, and needing statisticians who are trained not as programmers, but as people who can work with other people in a big variety of areas that all of our labs are working in now. I would like to see more emphasis, at least internally, on the goal of training statistical collaborators. I would like to see that really pulled out and brought to the forefront.
Great, thank you for that comment. Osama has the comment about, do you want to talk, Osama?
Okay, hello everybody. But I think that we need to have more collaboration between our labs, especially in the regions. We designed those regions so they are homogeneous at the most, and we need more cooperation between them. That's one thing. Another thing, we need the certification program to be working again. I have a few students who are interested in having the certification, but I think this will be a very good thing to do, that we train the people to be a good consultant, especially in this area of AI, and give them, to encourage them, a certification which is not available in any other place, that they are a certified consultant and collaborator in statistics and data sciences. The third thing I want to stress, that the AI is depending or built on statistical methods. Most of the time, it is something like machine learning, statistical machine learning, forecasting, prediction, and all of this is statistics. So increasing our knowledge of this, our understanding and assessing the AI algorithm or programs will be very essential. Essentially, the way they think is what we know very, very long ago about the exploratory data analysis approach, that we just not look at the data and get results. We try to understand the data, to modify it, to make a good prediction out of it. So the concept of exploratory data analysis is not just a part or stage in the statistical analysis. It is a way of thinking. It is a methodology which is essential now in artificial intelligence. So we need to work on this using maybe some webinars, some series of lectures, something like this. So we will increase our knowledge and spread it. I think if we do this, we'll spread the people interest in our consultation. Thank you.
Great, thank you, Osama. So Osama brought up the certificate program that we have been, talking about and trying to develop for about 5 years now. And so I think he's definitely right that certification in the necessary technical skills and then the necessary non-technical collaboration skills, plus an amount of practical experience doing collaboration and consulting to earn the certificate is something that we will, continue to work on and move forward. And it may be that using generative AI can help us in coming up with a final form for the certificate, because we have lots of materials that have been a little bit too complex. And so perhaps, we could feed those materials into AI and ask for a more streamlined version that can work in many different contexts. So that's something for the education committee that's led by Dr. Imran Khan to consider in the future. So Marianne Hubner has talked about the Stratus initiative in the chat. Dr. Hubner, would you like to discuss a little bit more about that?
Sure, I'd be happy to. Thank you very much for putting on this great events. I tried to come as much as I could. I haven't been involved with the LISA network, but I am involved with the Stratus initiative. And as I'm listening to you, it sounds like there are some similar goals on some sense. The Stratus initiative has about 100 members across 20 or more countries. I encourage actually all who are here just to have a look and see whether you might even be interested in joining. There are a number of topic groups, about nine topic groups interested in specific parts of statistical methods, such as missing data or initial data analysis or causal inference. Not so much AI, that was a topic of today's discussion, but there is quite a bit of overlap from Dr. Stem's talk, in particular when it comes to, he called exploratory analysis. I work on initial data analysis, where we don't want to explore associations that are not in the research objectives in order to avoid phishing or something. The Stratus initiative problems are mostly developed around the medical field, but it has much broader applications. So in our statistical consulting center at Michigan State University, or consulting or collaborations, we bring some of the principles in in our collaborations with domain experts, and it's been really helpful to point to some of those things. So I'll just post one more link. That's the initial data analysis in particular. And when you go to the either Stratos website or the website of the different topic groups, you can find more information. And for example, in this initial data analysis, if you go like under activities or R implementations, there are worked examples with R. And I do share, just another comment, I do share Kim Love's comment earlier about AI, because we have also seen people doing their own power analysis that are absolutely not fitting for the model or for the problem or the data they want to analyze. And there is, no matter how great a consultant you are, there is a barrier to step, well, I can just ask AI, or I have to make an appointment and go talk to a statistician. So there is a bit of a concern for me that the bad science is going to explode on what we've been trying to do already to steer against with the Stratos initiative. So thank you. I'd be happy to answer any questions about that.
Great, thank you. Yeah, it seems that it would be very useful for all of us in the LISA 2020 Global Network to be more familiar with the Stratos Initiative and the principles of analyzing observational studies, and then we can bring those principles into the collaborations that we have with domain experts. That could be, that's an easy first step for us. And so it may be, and maybe if you're willing, we might invite you to do a short presentation about this initial data analysis at one of our monthly meetings, if that.
Absolutely, yeah.
Fantastic. Great. Okay, David Stern has raised his hand, so please go ahead, David.
Thanks, and it's great to hear about the thoughts about how LISA may progress, and I love these ideas around some of the accreditation. One of the things that I think could be worth exploring is how there are other ways to have accreditation than formalized accreditation. There are elements of peer accreditation which could be considered and could be also useful, and they're sort of maybe not as well known, but they could be interesting to implement in a rather different way. So I just wanted to put it out there that formalized accreditation really needs funding. And as has been pointed out, there isn't the big funding behind this that might lead to the levels of accreditation, of formalized accreditation, that I think are being desired. But there are forms of peer accreditation and which can serve the purpose in interesting other ways. And so I just wanted to put that out there, that you could consider a network, LISA is a networked approach to accreditation, and to sort of having peer collaborations where this is where the accreditation is coming from a respected mentor, and it's literally just a sort of networked approach to the accreditation. So I just wanted to throw that out there. And I guess the one thing, I wanted to also state, coming back to this question of, in the explore phase, should you be looking beyond your objectives? And I think there's really good advances in open science which show that for formalized big studies like randomized control trials, a lot of this coming out of the medical area, there are very good reasons why you want to be rather cautious about the study and the conclusions you're making, and making sure that your design plan is there in advance. But there are many other disciplines which shouldn't be so formalized, and actually that layer of formalization is not necessarily the correct approach. And so I do think that we need to take an approach that I would consider called options by context, where we recognize that different disciplines, different areas are going to need different approaches and different levels of formalization. And I would claim the thing which I found very useful about this explore, describe, present is that that still always holds. You know, it's just that when you're in a more formalized study, you can't do as much in the explore. You're just literally doing what you're saying you do in advance to make sure you're ready for your objective analysis. Whereas in other areas, you might do a more extensive explore. And so I do think it's really important to also recognize the discipline differences that come in, and actually sort of give richness. And as statistical advisors, I think we can gain a lot by cutting across disciplines rather than being tied to individual disciplines. I've gained so much learning from having to go across from agriculture to health to education to many different disciplines. And one of the richnesses I found as a statistical advisor is the fact that the people who come to me are coming to me from those different disciplines. And I've had to learn what their disciplinary approach is rather than them having to learn what my approach is. Anyway.
Great. Thank you, David. And it's always nice to see you. I missed you at the World Statistics Congress. I wasn't there. I don't know if you were there, but
I was, yeah, I missed you as well. It would have been nice.
So, Dr. Asifa Kamal, would you like to make your comment? And I think that will be our final comment in this discussion before we move into the parallel sessions just after this.
Thank you so much, Professor Eric. Good evening, everyone. Yes, I think that online development of courses by Lisa can be very helpful, and different labs in collaboration can do it. But the issue is, of course, funding. Funding is necessary to develop such courses like data mining, machine learning, data science, R, Python. So if funding, we try for the funding and develop such a forum for the capacity building of students as well as statisticians, that could be a very helpful, and it will be a new achievement of the LISA network to strengthen the capacity building of statisticians. So I would like to suggest that if it is possible, we can go for and get a funding and develop courses in collaboration with other labs. Thank you so much.
Great, thank you. And I want to thank everybody for attending.